The idea, I believe, was to bring together a variety of art providers, including dance, theater, music, and the visual arts. And it was to kind of really connect through a theme how these various disciplines can intersect with each other, and at the same time give these kids a really rich, deep, and meaningful creative experience.
All across America right now, there's public school education budget cuts. And the first thing to get cut is always the arts.
Principals and other administrators have to make really tough decisions. We have so much that we have to cover in the required curriculum that sometimes art is one of those things that does not happen.
Well, I think the arts and dance and music and acting and all of that is just as important as your academics, especially now with the way businesses are thinking about how they want their employees to think, to be creative, to be innovative. Well, if you don't get to use your imagination, you can't cultivate that creativity.
Frank and Paul approached me about a program that they wanted to do called Camp Culture. Camp Culture would bring together all facets of the arts. You know, I was new at Bruce and I said, well, why not? Let's try it. And it just went off like a bang.
So with music, art, drama, dance, show you a good time if you give me a chance. Music, yeah, we'll make a cool beat. We'll give you a tune and we'll start our beat. Music, art, drama, dance. Music, art, drama, dance. Music, art, drama, dance.
The idea of Camp Culture was to bring together some of Houston's most excellent organizations at teaching arts and really bring them together to the school.
So they traveled throughout a week's worth of these 4 disciplines that somehow intersect and kind of overlap. And at the culmination of this really intense summer art program, the kids are able to perform, present, deliver, recite what they learned. And the transformation that I saw in these kids from the day they started, where we heard all the I can'ts and I don't want to's, to fast forwarding 4 to 6 weeks later, I can't believe I did and I want to do it again, affirmed why we need to do this work.
They are taught with masters, which is just wonderful. It's very structured, so students have places to go, times to be there, and kids get to really focus on their creative side, something that they don't always get to do in the general classroom between August and May.
We get a chance to bring what we do at the Houston Ballet to the school, to the student, and not only do they get to see it, but they get to feel it and experience it. I want them to wear dance and to know it, and then decide what they want to do with it.
I really expected it to be this small program that just kind of went okay, but it was fabulous. And my students today are still talking about what they did last summer in Camp Culture.
I've been to camp like for 2 years, but I've never been to one like this where I've got to play the instruments.
So I think what a parent can look forward to is a child who will be deeply enriched with a very well-rounded artistic experience. And they'll have fun and be in a very safe place. What I know for certain is that my 11-year-old will be challenged creatively. He'll be engaged, he'll have fun, he'll meet some new people. But I think more importantly, he's going to walk away with some real skills that may enhance his desire to want to stay in school, his desire to want to continue with art or music or dance or theater, which I think just adds value to his overall educational experience.
And it also gives students a boost of confidence. We saw kids who rarely interact with others, are very shy, who became very, very excited and wanted to come to this program and wanted to show their products. That is what we want to see in students.
Camp Culture is truly something that we envision for the city. The kids who are going through it are one day going to be citizens of Houston, and it'll be them that are really driving the city to the future and beyond.
For an organization to be able to help fund Camp Culture, it is really laying the foundation for our young people.
Well, as a CEO myself, I get a chance to talk to a lot of my peers in more corporate settings, and what I hear is what they want is creative workforce. And so if they're willing to make an investment now into programs like Camp Culture, we can assure that there will be adults that grow up to be very creative when they enter into the workforce, be it they become engineers or scientists or doctors or teachers or educators. But it starts now, and we want to make that investment sooner rather than later.
We want students to be leaders. We want them to be able to work as a team. We want them to be able to be vital assets in our society. Camp culture is sort of that foundation for that, and it's through the arts.
And to afford this experience to kids who wouldn't otherwise get it, I think is why we do this work.
I like drums because it's like, I just love it.